She vanished after trusting the wrong people, and the city helped erase her. A detective finds proof hidden inside the same building where the lie was created, but the men who buried the truth are already at her door. At 2:17 a.m., a former U.S. detective receives a call from a man who should not know her name. He knows her past. He knows the case that ended her career. And he knows where the missing girl was last seen. The city told everyone the cameras were broken. The evidence was lost. The witness disappeared. But one file, hidden for only a few minutes, proves the truth. The girl didn't vanish. She walked into a government housing building and never walked out. Now the detective is watching the footage in real time. She sees the missing girl alive. She sees the moment everything changes. And she sees a face she recognizes, someone who stood beside her in court and swore, under oath, that none of this ever happened. Before she can save the video, it's erased. Before she can call for help, her transfer out of the county is approved. And before she can run, someone is already standing outside her door. This isn't about a cold case. It's about a witness the city decided was too dangerous to protect. At 2:17 a.m., Emily Carter's phone rang. She almost ignored it. Only 3 people ever called her that late, and one of them had been dead for 6 months. The number had no name. No photo. Just a long international code she didn't recognize. Emily answered. "Please, don't hang up," a man whispered. His voice shook so badly she could hear his teeth clicking. "They're about to erase her." Emily sat up in bed inside her small apartment in Columbus, Ohio. "Erase who?" she asked. Silence. Then he spoke again. "You filed the missing person report last year." Emily's stomach tightened. The case of Madison Reed had ruined her career. A college student. Vanished after a late shift at a downtown diner. Emily had publicly accused the wrong suspect. Evidence disappeared. The department quietly closed the file and warned her to stop asking questions. She had stopped. At least, she thought she had. "I don't understand," Emily said. "You will," the voice replied. "But you only get one chance. Pull the security footage from Building C. Tonight. Before sunrise." The line went dead. Across the room, her laptop chimed. A file had just been uploaded by an unknown sender. The file name made her chest tighten. Emily didn't bother changing out of her sweatpants. She grabbed her laptop, her old department access card, and her car keys, already knowing it wouldn't work, but hoping fear was wrong for once. The parking lot behind the shuttered municipal housing complex was almost empty when she arrived. Building C stood at the far end, dark except for one flickering hallway light. Her badge failed. Twice. She sighed, stepped back, and lifted the loose maintenance panel beside the door. The lock had been broken for months. Nobody ever fixed things here. Inside, the air smelled like bleach and damp carpet. The security office was exactly where she remembered it. She powered on the dusty monitor. One camera feed loaded. Then another. Then hallway C3. Her pulse spiked. The timestamp on the screen read yesterday. 11:46 p.m. Emily leaned closer. A girl walked into frame. Long dark hair. Oversized hoodie. Phone in her hand. Madison Reed. Alive. Emily's knees weakened. Madison stopped at the end of the hall and turned toward someone just outside the camera's view. Her lips moved. Then a second figure stepped into frame. Not a stranger. Not a suspect. Someone Emily knew. Someone who had sworn, under oath, that Madison was never here. Emily's breath caught in her throat. The man on the monitor stepped fully into view. Detective Mark Holloway. Her former partner. The same man who stood beside her at the press conference and told the city of Columbus that the cameras in Building C had been broken for months. The same man who testified, under oath, that he had never set foot inside this complex. Emily watched the footage again. And again. Holloway leaned down and spoke to Madison, his face calm, almost gentle. Madison shook her head. He reached into his jacket. Emily's hands began to tremble. The camera angle couldn't show what he pulled out, but Madison's body language changed instantly. Her shoulders collapsed. Her phone slipped from her hand and hit the floor. Holloway pointed toward the stairwell. Madison hesitated. Then she obeyed. They walked out of frame together. The hallway remained empty for 11 seconds. Then something slid slowly across the floor and stopped near the wall. Madison's phone. Emily stared at the screen, her mind racing. If Holloway had Madison last night, then the official timeline was a lie. And if the department knew he was here. Her laptop chimed. A second file appeared. No sender. No message. Just a new file name. Transfer_PDF. Emily opened it. Her name was at the top. Effective immediately. Emily read the document twice. Then a third time. The transfer order wasn't a mistake. It wasn't unsigned. It came directly from the city's public safety office, reassigning her to a records position in another county, starting Monday morning. No explanation. No appeal process. Just one sentence highlighted at the bottom. Failure to comply will result in immediate termination. Emily closed the file and leaned back in the chair. They weren't just trying to silence her. They were removing her. Her phone buzzed. A blocked number. She didn't hesitate this time. "You saw him," the same trembling voice whispered. "Yes," Emily said. "I saw Holloway." A sharp breath on the other end. "They changed the chain of custody logs 10 minutes ago," the man said. "Your access will be gone by sunrise." "Who are you?" Emily demanded. Silence. Then, "Quieter now. I manage what the public never gets to see." Her screen refreshed. The security footage vanished, replaced by a gray error message. "File not found." Emily's heart slammed. "They're cleaning it," he said. But they missed one thing. A new folder appeared on her desktop. Not a video. Not a report. Just an audio file. The name made her skin crawl. Madison ____. Emily plugged in her headphones. For a moment, there was only static. Then, a soft, shaky breath. "Hello," a girl whispered. Emily closed her eyes. Madison. The timestamp in the corner of the player read 11:41 p.m. 5 minutes before the hallway footage. "I'm in the building," Madison said quietly. "Like you told me. But I don't think this is right." A man's voice answered. Not Holloway. Calmer. Older. Professional. "You're safe, Madison. You just need to follow instructions." Emily's chest tightened. "I thought you were sending a lawyer," Madison said. A pause. Then the man replied, carefully, "I am the lawyer." Emily froze. Madison lowered her voice. "You promised my name would never be used." "It won't," the man said. "Not in court." There was movement. A door opening. Footsteps. Madison gasped softly. "Someone's here." Another voice entered the recording. Close. Very close to the phone. "You weren't supposed to make this call." Emily ripped the headphones off. She knew that voice. Not from the hallway video. Not from the press conference. From the transfer order. From the signature block at the bottom of the page. The man who had just spoken to Madison was the same official who had approved Emily's removal. And according to the timestamp, he arrived before Detective Holloway ever did. Emily reopened the transfer order. Her eyes went straight to the bottom. Authorized by Daniel Mercer, ESQ. City Legal Counsel. The same calm, controlled voice she had just heard guiding Madison into Building C. The same voice telling a frightened girl she was safe. Emily's phone vibrated again. Unknown number. "They're tracing your connection," the man whispered the second she answered. "You have maybe 20 minutes. Mercer was there before Holloway," Emily said. Why would the city's top lawyer be meeting a missing witness in the middle of the night? A long pause. "Because Madison Reed wasn't a victim," he said. Emily felt cold. She was evidence. Her laptop flickered. A new file forced its way onto her desktop. Witness under protection override.pdf. Emily opened it. Her breath vanished. Madison's name was listed under a sealed relocation request. Denied. Reason for denial. Subject deemed non-compliant. External risk to protected parties. What protected parties? Emily whispered. The man's voice dropped. City officials. Contractors. And one detective. Holloway. Emily's door suddenly rattled. Hard. Once. Twice. Someone testing the handle. From the hallway outside her apartment, a familiar voice spoke quietly through the wood. "Emily, it's Mark. Detective Holloway. And you really need to open the door." Emily didn't move. The handle turned slowly. Stopped. Mark Holloway's shadow slid across the thin strip of light beneath the door. "I know you're in there," he said gently. Emily backed toward the kitchen, her phone still pressed to her ear. "He's at your door," the whispering man said. "That wasn't part of the plan." "What was the plan?" Emily mouthed. "Static." "Then get out. Now." The hallway camera feed she'd secretly reopened blinked onto her laptop. Her own front door filled the screen. From the camera across the hall, Holloway stood perfectly still, waiting. "You saw the video," he called through the door. "You know I didn't hurt her." Emily's eyes dropped to her laptop. Another window opened by itself. A still image. Madison Reed. In the stairwell. Alive. The timestamp flashed. 12:03 a.m. 20 minutes after she vanished from the hallway. Emily's breath shook. Holloway leaned closer to the door. Lowered his voice. "They're using you the same way they used her." A sudden knock, loud enough to rattle the frame. "Emily," he said sharply, the calm gone. "Mercer just signed your arrest authorization." Her phone buzzed. A new message. From the anonymous sender. "He's not here to stop you. He's here to finish it." Emily's window was only 2 floors up. Too high to jump. Too low to hesitate. The hallway camera still showed Holloway at her door. Unmoving. Patient. Her phone buzzed again in her hand. Unknown. Stairwell. Fire exit. 3 minutes before your signal dies. Emily crept toward the back of her apartment. The fire door opened with a soft, tired groan. Cold concrete air rushed into her lungs. She slipped into the stairwell. Down 1 flight. Through. Her phone lost 1 bar. Then. Footsteps above her. Fast. Not heavy. Careful. Someone who knew exactly how much noise a stairwell could swallow. Emily froze between floors. Her laptop, still open in her backpack, vibrated. 1 final file downloaded. She stopped breathing when she saw the name. Madison_location.txt. Coordinates. Live. Still moving. Not far. Inside the same building. Emily's chest tightened. Madison wasn't gone. She was still here. Below her, a door clicked open. A quiet voice floated up the stairwell. Not Holloway. Not the anonymous caller. Daniel Mercer. "You can stop hiding now, Emily," he said softly. "We already fixed the story." A second voice joined him. "Close. Breathing. Mark Holloway." "Don't run," he said. "You'll miss her." Emily stared at the live coordinates. 3rd floor. South stairwell. Exactly where she was standing. Madison wasn't somewhere else in the building. She was here. The location pin pulsed once, then stopped. Below her, Mercer's shoes appeared on the landing. Polished. Out of place. "You really should have stayed home after the transfer," Daniel Mercer said calmly. "You were given a clean exit." Emily's phone vibrated. One last call. The anonymous man. "You only get one shot," he whispered. "If you wait for police, there won't be a witness to rescue." A door opened above her. Metal. Heavy. A service room. Emily understood. They never planned to move Madison. They hid her. Close. So close that no search team would ever think to look there. Emily stepped forward. Her voice shook, but it carried. "Madison." For half a second, nothing happened. Then, a weak sound. From behind the gray service door. A sob. Mark Holloway moved. Fast. Too fast. Emily slammed her shoulder into the door. Pain exploded through her arm. The lock snapped. The door burst inward. Madison was on the floor. Alive. Hands zip-tied. Eyes wide with terror. Mercer shouted. Holloway lunged. Emily grabbed Madison and pulled. A gunshot shattered the stairwell. Some stories don't end when the truth comes out. They end when someone finally survives long enough to say it. If you stayed until the end, you already understand why this story matters. Because this wasn't just about one missing girl. It was about how easily a system can turn a witness into a problem, and a problem into silence. Madison didn't disappear. She was hidden. Buried under paperwork, sealed files, and people who knew exactly how to make the truth look impossible to prove. And Emily wasn't chasing justice. She was racing a clock. Every door she opened cost her a job. Every file she touched erased another safety net. And every step closer to the truth put someone else between her and the exit. This is how real stories end most of the time. Not with headlines. Not with arrests. But with one person deciding to step forward when staying quiet would have been safer. If this story made you uncomfortable, if it made you angry, if it made you wonder how many real witnesses never get a second chance, backhand index pointing right follow for the next true crime story. Backhand index pointing right share this if you believe silence protects the wrong people. Because the truth only survives when someone refuses to stop telling it.